Eventually, the shock finally registered with me. A numb feeling spread from the center of my brain almost instantly. Right, yeah, Nagito got, like, drawn and quartered or something. And suffocated. Yeah, this is a brutal murder scene, that's for sure. At least he's not here to annoy us anymore, but... oh well. Nagito is dead. Even when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality yet. Guess his luck ran out. Whoa! What? Fair enough. That's a decent reaction there.
What?
What's going on here? Is he really
serious?
dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nagito, you know? That's right. It's Nagito. Would be tough to fake, though. He always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why... I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a cruel state? Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believed that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. Fear intensifies. Oh, that's for sure. And whoever did this went really overboard with the execution, pun intended, of this crime. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. But even something as small as that. Well, that took long enough.
Body has been discovered. Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin.
Yeah, I've had, I guess, a couple weeks to think on this now, and I don't have any real theories as to who could have done it. And obviously Sonia's been a little suspicious, but other than that, not really. There's been so many opportunities, though, because we've been splitting up and looking for clues. Scooby-Doo style. Boy, discovery announcements. Then it's for real.
Hey!
The Nagito is really dead?
Damn it!
It's not just that he's dead. It's the body discovery announcement was made. Does that mean Nagito was killed? Killed?
That's right!
Plus it's one of us. I mean, that's what it means, right? One of us killed Nagito? One of us killed him so brutally? Then it's going to start again. Huh? The class trial is going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course!
Yep, we gotta do it! We gotta find out who Nagito's killer is!
Hey!
No matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right?
Shing!
Then the time for action is now! So, allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma file!
Wait!
Hold it right there!
Damn it!
What? Don't get in my way like that! I was about to whip out the Monokuma file in such a cool way!
You stupid brother.
Shut up! I can't stand this anymore!
Got it?
How much longer are you going to keep putting them through this? No more, I won't let you! I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions!
Hey!
Say something!
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are! You're Monami!
Hey!
You just now noticed?
Like...
Anyway, Monami, if you're going to talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first? Huh? What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know? What? No fair! You're shutting up too!
Please wait!
Enough already! We already have enough to deal with concerning Nagito. Please do not say anything else that will confuse us.
Hey.
Anyway, let's begin. But...
This is just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as a killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't even prevent it. I know that's the only way we can survive, right?
Nice!
Looks like you kids are way more well-behaved than Monami.
Don't fuck with me!
Don't fuck with me! We're tired of this too, you know. That's why I'll definitely make sure to finish this for good this time.
This is kind of...
Huh, does that mean you guys are getting bored of the school trip?
Actually...
Don't worry, the end is near. Huh? The end?
What's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You've already noticed it, right? The meaning behind that Monokuma timer? Was I supposed to have noticed that by now? I don't know, is it like when help arrives, maybe? I guess there's only 2 days left, huh? When that time reaches 0 2 days from now, what will happen to us? Huh? The killing school trip will be over! What? So you said we could have just waited it out this whole time? The deaths were unnecessary. It wasn't like a last man standing wins. It was just they survive until the end. Survive until the timer runs out. What? So all the deaths, all the killings, they were...
Hey,
This will be finally be over.
you serious?
Does that mean we can go home?
What are
Hey,
you
Jenna,
gonna
Steve.
do?
Yep, here we are. Don't count your bears before they've hatched. That's not how bears work. There's still something you gotta do before that, right? So, once again...
The Monokuma file! Phew.
You guys need to find out who Nagito's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterward at all.
Do your best.
Wait!
Hold on.
I won't forgive you!
I won't let you escape this time. Wait right there. What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think that we can go home, right?
But still...
Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagito's case first.
Damn it!
Even if we can go home, it'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
All right!
Then let's hurry up and solve Nagito's case so we can all go back home.
However...
It is nice to think that everyone can go home, but that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagito. There's a killer among us. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true of the previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito? Because his death was so abnormally cruel? No, it wasn't just that. There's something more to it than that. And whatever it was stuck inside me. Alright, first we need to look at the Monokuma file. The victim is Nagito Kameda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear... Also, noon, that's really close to when we were all investigating the bombs, right? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Not to mention the tape. What a tragic situation. Just reading this is making me depressed.
Huh?
Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file? Again, but what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Did it not mention the tape across his face? I guess That could have just been to shut him up, not necessarily to cause a death by asphyxiation. But he's so pale, like it kind of seems like that could be the case. Oh yeah, this song's pretty good. Furthermore, there was a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand.
Yep.
It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for. Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first.
See?
If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss. True. Well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Nagito's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can properly investigate Nagito's body. I never thought I'd have to investigate Nagito's body. He probably didn't expect to end up like this either. Alright, the Monokuma file. Let's just start. What's the deal with this plushie? Monokuma's dead! There's blood coming out of his stomach? Hey. No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding. I'm not dead. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. You're a stuffed animal, too. Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood? Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something?
What are you
I
saying?
had nothing to do with that. Huh?
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. I mean, Monokuma generally doesn't lie. And he's got a lot of other sins, but lying, deceit is not generally one of them. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Monomi, but you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end.
I can't lose.
I will definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma. So Monomi's fighting for world supremacy. Good to know. Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incidents. The plushies been added to the treatment section. Alright, we go side to side here. Forgot about that. Never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Let me just check something real quick. Just to make sure everything's working. It must be. Yeah. We're good. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. Oh, hey, Alex. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the resub. What did you miss? Not much. We just started. We're just now investigating Nagito's death. Unless you missed the last thing in Ronpa stream, in which case, Nagito's dead now. So, and there were bomb threats and whatnot. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No, now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Let's get a look at this tape. Must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look on his face. The blood splatter all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with the duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him. Got a minute. Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and me, and squatted down next to Nagito's face. In one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off of his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
That'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here.
Hey, hey, hey!
Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. The blood on Nagito's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. How can you tell that? If that's the case...
Man.
It's no use, she's not listening.
Hey.
Hey, about the blood splatter on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape. So the duct tape must have been applied before the wounds. Okay, good to know.
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito's probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue, too. I should remember it. Knife. I always feel like I've seen that knife somewhere before. The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base? Oh, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well,
By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Which means after the killers finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand?
it cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear.
How cruel.
How cruel. Then does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? Well, they could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. Why did they need to use the spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear? Huh. Survival knife has been added. Okay. Left hand. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. That's probably the reason that the wounds on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to the other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound. There's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange. Strange? What?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from where his left arm was sliced, but... Doesn't the blood sire look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. As if he were holding something at the time, perhaps. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered? Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but... there's something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand,
Well,
here there's also blood, but only above the middle of joint of each finger. Definitely holding something at the time. The question is what? At least you know whose body it is this time. Or that's what they want you to think. And you're right, why is it only on this part?
see?
See, just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. This isn't really a competitive game, Chiaki. It's a cooperative investigation, but sure. I mean, I know your arcade was destroyed by Nagito, so you're probably having gaming withdrawal symptoms. So sure, yeah, you win this round. Yeah, sure, you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? But on the left hand has been added. Or it's possible. Could he have just been making a fist too? Like not necessarily holding something? Like it would have a similar effect. I'm not sure if it would be at. Maybe. Let's look at the spear. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it?
Phew.
I see. Use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the Spear of Gungnir, right? You definitely just came up with that now. By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
What?
What? Nezumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice! Damn you all to hell! I see. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight of at the end of the cord coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Again, could have been where it was being held. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Although here's the thing. If I was trying to wail on someone with the iron weights, like holding the weapon there, you'd be choking out the weights, right? You want to hold it further down to have more leverage, to really get the weight moving. Oh yes, hey Gary. Yeah, Nagito's dead. Which to an extent, good riddance, but also, yeah, poor guy. Alex, you're suspicious of Sonia? She's definitely been probably somewhat suspicious this case so far, this chapter. She's been very active at the very least, which can be a good or bad sign, depending. Right, that's not conclusive. Like, if you take last chapter as an example, you probably would have picked out like Chiaki as being the more like active person over who the actual killer was in that case. So sometime, like I was thinking back on the cases, and it really does seem to kind of an even split as to whether the murderer ends up being someone who's like particularly relevant in the chapter leading up to the murder versus just someone who kind of faded into the background. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but who can say? For sure. We do know that Sonia visited the military base before Nagito died, which is somewhat suspicious in its own right. Oh, hello. Am? Yeah, Nagito's dead. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Or good news if you didn't like him very much. It's gonna be better if I confirm that later. The Spear of Gungnir has been added to the truthful section of the handbook. What about the rope? Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito, but they also stabbed his legs? It does beg the question. If you have him tied up, mouth taped, in such a vulnerable position, why are you going so extra with all of the wounds, right? A simple slit to the throat would have done the job perfectly well. Probably left less evidence. Been less likely to be discovered mid-murder if someone, like, came across you earlier. Anyways. Why would the killer do something like that? Why wouldn't they want to make them suffer? You know, that's not a bad point. Gotta make sure he's dead too, right? He is pretty lucky. I feel like there are some things that are sort of beyond luck. At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. Kid must have been holding a huge grudge towards him. Which unfortunately doesn't really narrow things down, now does it? Or they might have been torturing him. For the location of the bombs! That's actually not a bad assessment there for you, Hiko. Torture?
Huh?
And if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? But if you're torturing him, you wouldn't have taped up his mouth. Because you need the answer, right? Unless you had his mouth taped, like, just in general. It was like, stab, stab, stab. Rip the tape off hard. Now you had his answer? Nope, okay, tape's back on. Stab, stab, stab. I guess there's a way to do that. And if anything, it might be useful because you wouldn't want him scream. You wouldn't want people to hear his screams while you're actively torturing him. So I guess that could go either way. Fetus regard the spear on his chest. The other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killers torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have had a deep grudge towards Nagito.
Damn it!
Refusing to let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gotten this far? Torture wounds has been added to the truth bolt section of your handbook. Okay. I mean, I think that's everything here. That's not how you get out of this. There's still some things I need to confirm. Okay. When you look at the spear, looked at his feet, looked at his face, looked at his hands. Oh, the burnt rope. Yeah, there we go. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope. But it looks like the tip of that rope is burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Okay. I guess I'm done with this area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. And I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Well, sometimes a bit of abnormality is required to rise to the occasions. What do you make of this scene, Chiaki? She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see a girder right next to it, right? There.
see?
Can you see that red streak? Oh. Huh. You're right, I definitely see it. Looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
Perhaps.
Is that blood? Blood? The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. Could he have fallen from up there? That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Blood on the girders when added to the truth bolt section of the handbook. Oh yeah, I guess Nagito would have known the password to help speak too. What? Any thoughts on this, Kazuichi? Honos killed Nagito in such a cruel way. It's too bizarre. Can't do anything except laugh. Sonia, what do you think?
So just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home, nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after.
Like,
I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
that's obviously
This random
wrong.
school trip is going to end, right? We can finally go back home. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey, hey,
What do you mean, something?
shut up.
He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that?
Damn it.
I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
You.
Then don't bring up strange stuff like that. I somehow doubt it kind of has anything particularly wise to say, but it mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikan's. Well, looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter? What doesn't matter?
So,
The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What are we doing? Well, right now it's
time.
It's 12:30 p.m. So it also has a clock function. And that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, it was around that time we were struggling with the bombs. You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
All right.
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. Going the alibi route has not been great most of the time because people keep faking the alibis. This could be like when Nekomaru died. Hill could have used some kind of automatic setup. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare.
All right.
And whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bomb is suspicious.
Huh?
Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. Oh, a lighter. Ah, it's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here...
just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm.
Bring it on.
Is a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire.
Well,
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
which means
So using that, the curtain was set on fire. But by whom? Without a means to like remotely activate it, Nagito would have been the only person who could have done that. And I don't know, that just doesn't seem very likely. Unless maybe he was maybe he had the lighter on him and was trying to escape from the ropes using it? Well, that'd be tough, because like if he had a rope on each limb, how's he reaching for a lighter in that case? Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
you are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. They caused the fire to destroy evidence. That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to their crime scene, but if that was the goal, why is the fire ever but the actual crime scene? Right? That doesn't make much sense. Oil lighter has been added to the truth bolts. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with a rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Okay. Well, let's take a look. We got the MP3 player. That's interesting. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. Why is this here?
Maybe.
Looks like that weird music was playing from there. Yeah, that music was blaring when the fire started. Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it, that music was playing from that MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? Also, pink MP3 player. And that would hint towards a female, presumably. Unless it's someone trying to mislead. Again, why go through the trouble, though? Like, what does it achieve? All these CDs, they're all copies of Monokuma's music. These should have been burned too. The panels are surprisingly unburned. Huh, there are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. Almost look like dominoes. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? Oh, hold on. That could be a manner of activating the lighter from a distance, right? If it was already lit on top of like a Monokuma and then you set the Monokumas to fall? Maybe? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall... Yeah, they're all stacked up. They should have been neatly put away. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess. Huh?
See?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So the reason these panels are tipped over is... It's fine, I'll open slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Huh, it's not opening. There's something blocking the door, I can barely open it. I know it is a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? Just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protest, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Could it be... Was that it?
Well?
And there's something else I've been wondering.
Hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly.
So...
Isn't this clearly strange? Strange, that means... We can speculate this was done intentionally. Okay. So that makes sense for triggering the fire. And you could definitely use the fire to just kind of create general chaos, at the very least. Looks like this side is completely soaked because of the sprinkler. Even if there was an important clue here, we might not be able to notice it. But it's better than the warehouse burning to the ground. Good thing we were able to put out the fire.
Hey, hey.
But there was a lot of smoke. It was a good thing we didn't go inside when we were throwing the grenades.
You are right.
I agree. If we did, we would have been caught by the sprinklers and become all wet and soggy. Somehow I doubt that's our biggest concern. Miss Sonia's all wet! She's all drenched and soggy!
Hey!
You were thinking that, huh? No.
Of course not.
I wasn't thinking that at all!
Say what?
Why are you responding, Kazuichi? I was asking Hajime!
Whoa!
You're screwing with me!
This.
Oh my, screwing! How rude!
Hey!
Please don't look at me with such fearful eyes. I only imagined it for a second. Kazuichi, you should probably just keep your mouth shut already. Okay, notice anything?
Jeez.
We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Sonia, what about you? You've seen useful in this trial so far, or this investigation. Looks like Sonia's focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I needed to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey Sonia, do you have a minute? Yes, what is it? I had to talk to you about that fake bomb Nagito said in the warehouse exploded. Huh? Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It is all right. It is not a bomb. Why did you know the bombs were fake? Well... That's not all either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my.
Oh my.
It cannot be.
Do you suspect me? It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Jesus, shit, you son of a bitch! Sonia! It is far too early to have the killer, melt down and lose their facade. We do that, in the last third of the trial, alright? So, calm down. Save it for later.
I am sorry.
I am terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there. Huh?
Well?
At first I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. So I kept silent the whole time. Does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
That is...
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, you were late when we were all gathered.
Please listen.
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. How did you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. Why? Was it to break into Hope's Peak? What?
I see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door at the ancient ruin. Yeah, okay. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real. And I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin.
However,
That
plan was an utter failure.
And apparently Monokuma was watching this too, as it turns out.
The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Monokuma as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb.
Interesting.
Which means?
If those bombs are the same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. That bomb was real and I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along.
That's such a funny little voice line. Agreed. Sonya in general is funny.
He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well.
If so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is his reason for doing it.
With this, I have explained everything.
Do you have a minute?
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me.
You're right, I got it. Okay. Alright, I've pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there are still so many things I don't understand yet. Like, where else should we look? I guess we wanted to check out the castle because we're suspecting that's where the spear is from. Also, I mean, you gotta check out Nagito's residence, too, right?
Hold it.
You look worried.
Yeah, I am.
Well,
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range.
You mean it's good to investigate other places as well? She might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonya mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Nezumi Castle where the spear originally came from, and Nagito's room, too. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about it.
I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
can you hear me?
Hey, you guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring the other areas too?
In response to Jackie, the others gathered around her.
I see.
I agree, I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we had the same idea.
But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
Yep.
We don't have a choice, there just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all we can here.
Guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So, we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely.
You don't really need to say that.
Hey!
It's okay if we leave this place. It's okay. There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around.